Back with another episode of Your True Sons. I am one of your hosts, Kevin Rutland. I'm here with Sean Weatherspoon and Jeremy Macklin. The NFL Combine is coming up. A lot of guys who have left college, who made the decision to leave, are about to go put their talents on Front Street for all coaches and GMs and even now fans to see. So it's fitting us three who all did participate in that combine, who all made a decision to leave or stay in college. Let's dive into that and talk about maybe some of our differences in our time back in the early 2000s leaving college and the early 2000s entering the combine versus what the guys will see today. So, Spoon, I want to hear some of your decision-making process into deciding to leave college when you did, because you had an opportunity to leave early and you decided to hang back. So walk us through that decision and how that might differ for somebody who is a junior who's got a pretty high rating to come out of college, but they decide to stay. What went into your decision-making, Spoon?
Well, I think for me, it was about, doing what I set out to do, and I think my main thing was graduating from school. That was something I wanted to do, something I wanted to share with my mom.
Yeah.
And, man, when I had that opportunity to have one more semester while I'm playing ball to finish, and still I could train in that second semester of my senior year because I was done with school, it was just kind of right on time for me. But my junior year, I got my grade, and they said I was a third round pick, and I was like, I don't think you leave school to be a third round pick. Maybe today. I mean, I don't know. Just in my mind, I'm gonna be a first rounder if I come back and do what I just did last year.
That's what I'm
And
asking.
I,
Yeah.
I know for sure that I'll be a first rounder because my junior year, I mean, I don't think nobody outplayed me. This is just being honest. Like, there's some great players, obviously. You had your Cushion went first round that year. You had Ray Malaluga second round. I want to say Laurinaitis was second round. It was a heavy linebacker. Aaron Curry was the first linebacker off the board, and he had a crazy
Aaron Curry,
senior.
yep, top eight.
Yeah,
Yep,
he
top
had a
eight.
crazy senior campaign that year, so it was just kind of a heavy draft. And I'm not saying that I didn't trust myself, but I think the advice that I got was, hey, next year you can be the guy, and it worked out. And Lance Briggs was a mentor of mine, great will linebacker that I looked up to. He came to Missouri, and he had a friend out there. He came out, he hung around campus for a little bit, and we talked. And he's like, it's some things you can go accomplish your senior year that you that can really set you apart. So that was what it was for me.
Okay. J-Mac, you left extremely early.
Yeah.
What went into that decision? And then how would a guy who was in your situation, similar shoes, today, does that kid leave? Or does that kid stay in school?
Well, I think when I put my name in after my redshirt sophomore year, it came back as a first round draft pick. And my dream as a little boy was to go to the National Football League, go to the NFL. And then so for me, it was kind of that was always the goal. That's what I wanted to go do. And I mean, you can't go no higher than the first round, right? So
Yeah.
now it was not an easy decision for me to leave. Man, Mizzou became home. Y'all was my guys. I had so much success there. I'm back to back, All American, broke all type of records as a freshman, broke all type of Mizzou records in 2 years. So I was thinking in my head, imagine what I can do in 4 or 3 or 4. So there was a bunch of things that went into it, man. And I think back then it's a no brainer, right? First round draft pick, you go. I think still now today, if I got a first round draft grade, I'm probably still gonna go as an underclassman because I still think that money that you make in the National Football League is just a little bit different than the money you make in the NIL. God forbid I go in there and I get hurt coming back that next year. Now that guaranteed money's gone and all these other things. And what happens if I never become the same player again? Who knows, right? So I think it is something more to think about. But I don't play quarterback. I'm not making $7, $8, $9 million a year like some of these. I guess nowadays some of these higher tier quarterbacks are making in college ball. I think Jeremiah Smith, and this all of us speculating. I think he's the highest paid receiver in college ball right now, or something like that. And I think last I heard it was like $4 million. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know what it is, but you're talking about that, or you're talking about somebody's gonna go first round draft, and you're gonna get 5 years, whatever amount of money you're gonna get. You know what I mean? So I think I still would make that jump, but that's just me.
Well, let me ask you a follow-up question. Actually, for both of you. After you make the decision for Spoon to stay, for J-Mac to leave, and then eventually you end up in the NFL, do you still make that decision? Because now it's only business. And in college, it's a little bit more carefree in a sense. It's still a controlled environment. You still have teachers, which is kind of a give or take, depending on who you are. You may or may not like going to class that much, but now there's no risk of being cut. Or
Well, that's not true. So
talk about
that's not true. So they are cutting people. Like all these
you're
guys
not
hopping in
cutting the
transfer.
first round guy.
How you say what?
You're not cutting
Not
the
our
guy who's a
caliber
potential first
players,
rounder.
the years we're coming
Well,
off of,
no,
right?
that
Yeah.
that not our, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you meant. That's what my bad. That's what you
Yeah,
meant.
my
Okay.
bad. Yeah. And where there are some guys who leave in their first round picks and then they play 2 or 3 years and they never played a game again. Like
Yeah, but
you
I
got the bus. Yeah.
but that's a double-edged sword. So I stay. Let's say top dollar right now is $4 million for a receiver.
Yeah.
I make $4 million, right? What if I have a really bad year, or what if something like that, or I get hurt and I don't quite come back the same, right? So, I mean, you can say that, and then now all of a sudden you don't make that first round money. You might be making third, fourth round money. We know that's significantly different than first round money. It's not, you know what I mean? So I think that works both ways, right? Yeah, you can go to the National Football League and in 3 years be done, but at least you made those 3 years on a first round rookie deal, as opposed to making that 1 year for $4 million that you made
college,
on an NIL deal. So
yeah. Spoon, what about you? Today, given you get the third round grade, do you know what? I'm gonna come back again. Or do
Well, I
you
think
take
that's,
that leap of
I
faith
think a
and
little.
go out and put your talents on the main stage?
What's a little different now? You can have an agent in college. You have somebody who can represent you, right? So, hey, first of all, let's go to the drawing board and let's talk to the people that have given me a chance. Missouri is the school that brought me from Texas. Let's see what they're willing to do to keep me here. So we have to figure that out first. But if I just put myself in the climate that we were in, no NIL, no, if I knew what I knew now, I'd go I'd go to third round because I'm gonna test better than this guy. I'm gonna jump off the board. And when I went to the combine, I had coaches telling me, I had you last year as my top guy. And a lot of people, my thing, my senior year was you play a lot bigger, look a little bit different on tape. You right, so I had to use the Senior Bowl, the combine to actually kind of boost myself back up. And I feel like I would have did the same thing then. But if the NIL was sweet, hey, I'm right there in Como, baby.
Definitely. If the NIL was sweet, I think for the guys like myself who you're gonna finish out your college career, it's a no brainer. I've even seen guys who left school early and then they say they go undrafted. I'm like, oh, what, why? But that was back then. Today, I don't think that even happens. There's no more. Let's leave
Yes, it
early
does.
and then I don't get drafted. That just be insane.
well, check this out. So check this out, Kev. Like in I'm very close. Like had an opportunity to come out. Right, you're probably gonna go 6th, 7th round undrafted. But here it is. You got an NIL deal for $600K in college. Oh, you stay in college.
You stay
because
in school.
Your draft grade can't go lower.
No.
Right. So you're going to get that same undrafted, chance the following year. Right. So I do think it's case by case. Like I said, I think for the top guys, right? Like if you're not a quarterback, I think that like it doesn't make sense in my opinion to come back to school. I think you should go get your first round money.
So then,
But like that,
go ahead.
if you're a surefire first rounder, that's I think that makes sense to me.
Let's talk about quarterbacks today. Then you got the guy from Oregon who goes back to school. Go ahead, Spoon.
Well, I wanted to just piggyback on that a little bit about deciding to come out or not early. You can have a great career, decide to come out, and then even though you were consensus first team All American, there are some of those guys who have slipped, and not been drafted. I've seen it happen here recently. Even a cousin of mine, Verone
Yeah.
McKinley III, played awesome at Oregon, took the ball away, played some nickel, played some free safety, had double-digit interceptions in 3 years of playing, consensus All-American, and didn't get drafted. Now, he still had a pro career, still played, I think 3 or 4 years pro, but it was just odd, that it happened like that. So I just wanted to bring up that point that you do have
Yeah.
those type of
Well,
situations as well.
I think
You do. You do.
I
Yeah.
think I think the guys I'm talking about are like I know like nobody knows for sure. I mean, you can go look at just the Shador example from last year. Now, granted, like I think everybody kind of had him all across the board. It's not like
Yeah, it's
it's not like
crazy.
it's not like he was Andrew Luck coming out where
Right.
everybody you know what I mean? I think I'm talking about like and, may, and maybe it's not always as easy as I'm trying to make it seem, but I'm talking about like no doubt, no brainer first round draft pick. Like could
Yeah.
not play his whole senior year, still go first round type dudes. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So what about the combine now? So you finished playing in college football and you made the decision to come out entering the combine, which a lot of these guys will be starting. I think it officially starts tomorrow, right? And you don't hit the TV screen until a bit later in the combine. But talk about your combine experiences, some of the expectations you had versus the reality, because I think that needs to be for a lot of people out here who think, oh, it's just you go on TV and you run a 40 or you do bench press. So, J Mac, you left first. Let's start with you. You
Mhm.
are at the time 20 years old. Are you
Yep.
20? And
I got
you're
drafted when I was 20. Yep.
so you're 20 years old, fresh out of college, hitting the combine. You can't do any of the senior bowl games because you're underclassmen. What were the expectations versus what did you actually experience?
You know what? I was so green, man, to the whole experience. I don't even know if I had any type of expectation. You know what I mean? Funny story. My agent tried to get me to play in the senior. Like we tried to like, I know you got to, but like we tried to make it happen. It was. I don't know if he tells everybody that's what he tries to do, but we tried to make it happen as underclassmen. They weren't going for it clearly, but
Right.
um, like I said, I was so green to it, man. So I don't really know what to expect. So when I got there, right, you kind of get like the schedule of like what's going on. You got your Wonderlic, you got all these meetings. You got to be here at this time. Sometimes you got meetings inside of meeting rooms. Sometimes you got meetings sitting out in the lobby or at different places.
Yeah.
I think I met with maybe 26 of the 32 teams, 28 somewhere in there. You know, you kind of just it just happens so fast, right? And then you got to get up for drug tests, and then before you know it, right? You kind of go into this room, and because I tore my ACL in my true freshman year, they got all these doctors like pulling on you and yanking you, and you're sitting on the table in front of 75, 100 people, and people asking questions, and if you've had surgery, then you got to go get MRIs to make sure,
MRIs.
or
Yeah.
teams can like request that you get MRIs. So it was just a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. And then, like I said, it's nonstop. I think the last team meetings could be at like 9 o'clock, I believe. And then you
PM.
wake up in the
Yes.
morning, yeah, and then you start it over again.
4.
So
Yeah.
by the time you get to performance day, right? Like, I think bench press was the day before, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bench press was the day before, height and weight and all that. I'll never forget, man. You got all these kids holding these big old gallon of waters and drinking water, trying to hold some water weight down so they weigh in heavier.
That was me.
So you, so you got to do that. Then you got to come out and you got to do the bench press, which I decided not to do because I think at my
Non-competitive.
peak, y'all remember the gun club. Listen, no, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Hey, y'all,
Non-competitor.
I think
Shout
at my
out
peak, I
PI.
think I was doing it 16 times, something like that, right? But AC joint, right? I don't think I put 225 on the bar after my redshirt freshman year. So I didn't know where I was with it. So my
That's
agent was
crazy.
like, yo, they're not gonna not draft you because you're not doing these crazy
225.
reps of 225. He said, I've never seen a receiver get drafted because they did
That's
30
true.
reps on 225. Like that's not
The
what they're
case.
looking for. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. But then they make you stand up and announce why you're not doing it in front of everybody. I think
What did you
I
say?
think I was some BS. I don't know
I'm
what I
I'm
said.
a
So
non-competitor, guys. I'm a
no,
non-competitor. I don't want to.
I think I said I was gonna do it at my pro day. Fun fact, I didn't do it at pro day either. No. But man, then you finally get to like field day. And
Yeah.
and you spent, dog. You spent.
Spent.
You've done so much in was it 2-3 days?
Yeah.
You've done so
Yeah.
much, right? And you're running on sleep. Food's just okay. Um,
Yeah.
you got to go out there and you got to compete, man. And I think it's all to test you, right? People
Yeah.
say it's to go out there, and I don't think it's necessarily to go out there and put up like these otherworldly numbers. I think it's to see who can perform at an elite level under the pressure that they put you under. And I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what they base it off of. Like you know, I remember I ran my 40. We got into like the gauntlet field work,
Yeah.
and then I'm running a go ball. And granted, you haven't ran with these quarterbacks, you haven't done whatever, and the dude puts the ball up, and then like I gotta like stop, and then I stop, hyperextend my knee, fall down, so I'm out for the rest of the combine. I don't finish my testing. I was already battling osteitis pubis, right, inflammation of my pelvis, right. So I
Why did
was
they
man,
draft you? I don't understand.
I was all out
Hey,
of whack, man. So,
hey,
Yeah.
man, the experience is crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I think everybody has a similar story as to like what made theirs like unique and wild to them. But man, I just felt like literally you're falling and like you just waiting to hit rock bottom. Like it was a crazy experience, man.
Yeah. Spoon, you came out, and I remember, you left a year before me. I remember watching your combine and at least watching you doing your field events and run your 40. And you came out in the all white, which was special. At least I thought so. So talk to me about your combine experience, and then I want to know why you chose to go out in the all white at a time where people weren't really out there being very different from the pack in the combine. Back then, you did what everybody else did, but you made a crazy decision to stand out. What talk about your combine experience for me, Spoon?
man, it was like I said, it meant a lot to me. Just based on my senior year, was we did okay. I did okay, but it was about getting back to moving the way I moved as a junior. A lot of things were being said like you kind of fell off your senior year. So I'm super pumped, ready to go in there and show these people what I can do. My agents kind of told me, 15 to 40, that's your range. So you can go in here, solidify yourself in the first round, or you can go in here, you can fall out. So I was super focused, out in California training. And when I got there, I'm like, dang, it's cold. It's cold in the mud, man. We in there. They put us in a train cart. A train cart. Like I'm sleeping in a train cart. Like, I mean, a small room with a
Yep.
defensive tackle. I'm in there with a defensive tackle. He big in here, like on Friday after next. And I'm like, it's just so uncomfortable, man. I
you know
I
you
get my
big in here.
itinerary. I get my itinerary. I got like 30 interviews, bro. Like, like 30 sit downs with like in the room, not
Yeah.
at the train station where I'm sitting down with a scout or a position coach. Just talk. I mean, like I had to go like to every
Yeah.
doggone room. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, y'all done seen enough tape. I've been in school 4 years. You guys, you can see
Yeah.
it all, right? Why I got to go meet with all these people? And it was one team that didn't have me on their list, and that was the Patriots. And I come through the hall, somebody just tap on my shoulder, like in a true like Spygate fashion, like somebody want
Yeah.
to talk to you in room such and such, right? So I pull up,
Spygate.
Belichick over there washing his hands. He washing his hands like the mad scientist he is, just washing his hands. He turned around. I don't even think he shook my hand. I'm like, why you washing your hands? You ain't shaking hands. Dude was just dry, right? Like he just pull up my senior year, nothing about
Yeah.
football, about my Twitter feed. So then that's when I kind of realized, like, it ain't about football here, man. These people got you here. They want to see if they can get under your skin. They want to see how you react to certain questions, how you
hmm
perform under the lights, like Max said, in there with a group of guys that are just on the same or are on the same level as you. How do you separate yourself? And so, I was worn out. Like Max said, they put me on the Biodex machine. I had all the MRIs. I tore my shoulder in college. Had
hmm
I found out at the combine I had a PCL tear. I didn't even have a PCL in one of my knees. I found that at the combine because Mizzou ain't tell me. They said, "Hey, we want you out of that red
Oh
jersey
wow.
by the time we get to 11 on 11. We want you out of that red jersey." I'm like, "Yes, coach." Here I am out there practicing in the spring with my
Yes,
knee
coach.
taped
Yes,
my
coach.
freshman year. I get to the combine, that's then come back to bite me. So, I realized that, man, okay, I see what they doing, man. They want to get me in a tough spot to see how I perform. Went out, all white. Hey, you know what, man? We gonna be fly now.
Yeah.
We gonna be fly, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm my mama's son. Like, I'm my daddy's son. We gonna put something on. We gonna be ready to go. But we gonna compete. And I wanted to stand out a little bit. I had on
Yeah.
my Adidas tights, my Under Armour shirt that they gave me, my Nike sleeve under. I was advertising. I was advertising, and I wanted to show that, just like with the outfit I put on, I can go out there and put on the field, man. And I showed that I was a leader. Myself, Sean Lee, and Brandon Spikes. We stood out from the standpoint of, okay, we the top guys coming in, but we also the leaders in the group. Let's get these guys going. Let's get some energy in here, because what you notice is everybody's nervous at these type of events.
Yeah.
Senior Bowl, guys quiet, nervous. Hey,
Yeah.
let's liven it up. Let's have some fun. Let's do what we do. And man, I could not wait to finish that last dang exercise, which was the actual 60-yard shuttle, Mac. You don't know nothing about the 60-yard shuttle. I didn't want to know the time. I didn't want to know nothing. Just, hey,
You
when
don't
I
know nothing
finished,
about that.
I ran to the hotel, to get me out of here. And I think Delta taxed me like six
Yeah.
hundred
Yeah.
bucks for all the gear I had. I'm like, oh, I got all this new gear. I'm good. I'm fly. Delta say, hey, you ain't made no money yet, but hey, we gonna need that money. And they hit me up, bro. And then I was on a flight. I was on
Hey,
a flight with one of my dogs, Corey Peters. Corey Peters was actually on the flight with me. We ended up, he's the godparent of my son. And we ended up being on the same flight, not even talking to each other, but getting drafted to the same city, man. So I have some great combine memories, man. It was cool. It was fun.
yeah. Hey, speaking of all the gear you get, first off, like you wide out and you linebackers, man, and really everyone, with the exception of I'm not sure who goes last, but when I got to the combine as a defensive back, those rooms that you can go in and get all of the Nikes and all that, it is empty. Y'all run through it. I swear, I feel like linebackers and receivers, y'all end up getting things not even your size. It was crazy. How all the 11s and the 12s gone? What? It's the most popular shoes I'm telling you. I
That's
know
the
I'm convinced
receivers,
all the
man. The
D tackles, all y'all
receivers.
in there grabbing. What are y'all doing? It's they don't replenish that stuff. Like it's a set number, and when it's gone, it's gone. I don't think they should let y'all know. Like, hey,
I didn't have
you
that
get two
problem.
shoes.
I
They
didn't
need
have
to
that
replenish.
problem.
They
How
need
you
to
They
replenish that so y'all can
the
get right.
brands was pitching. They was trying to sign me. Under Armour, Nike, Adidas. They're trying to
so you saying you
trying to
weren't taking
sign
the
me.
free stuff? You weren't taking the free stuff
Oh, I
out
took
the
all the
room?
free stuff from
Took
everywhere. But I'm
everything.
saying they
That's
were
what I'm
trying to,
saying. Why?
They
yeah.
supposed to have
But they
enough.
was doing
They
that.
supposed to
Plus, they
have
gave me
enough.
more stuff. Yeah.
We ought to talk about that experience because that wasn't mine. They were out there pitching me. As a matter of fact, I remember I had to do the broad jump, and it's me and Patrick Peterson. And he looked down at my shoes. I had on some Adidas that were like super light soccer shoe that you're running in, right? And he looked down. He was like, "Man, I really wanted to run in those." And I looked at him. I was like, "Put them on. Why not?" He was like, "I'm already with Nike." And I was thinking, "Damn, what you mean already with Nike?" Dog? You know what I'm saying?
That's
First round
wild.
of undrafted. You know what I mean? I didn't know that you could. The decision was already made. He was like, "Yeah, I can't run anything else because I'm already with Nike. We're not even in the league yet." So the experiences are different. One of the quick stories: ET from Kansas City, Emmett Thomas. He's a DB coach. He
Legend.
pulled me to the
Legend.
Shout
side
out
one
ET,
day.
man.
Shout out to ET, really good dude, man. He came to me. He was like, "Hey, how many reps you gonna get in 225?" And I was like, "To be honest with you, I don't really know." He said, "That's why you can't tackle." I'm like, "Dog, what are you talking about, bro?" I didn't
Bro.
know.
Hey, dog, that ain't
I
right,
didn't know
dog.
that
Cause
shit
hey,
were
man, you was
like
striking,
connected.
dog. You was striking. I ain't trying to hear that.
Tell him something, fool.
My dog had more big hits than anybody
You
my
can't
senior
tackle.
year.
Dog, listen.
I didn't
Hey,
even get
I
my number.
guarantee you, ET didn't crack a smile when he said it either. He was
No,
dead
he didn't.
serious.
Serious.
He was
You know, he took the
dead
hotel
serious,
too.
dog.
He
I'm
told
looking
me,
like,
Dog,
I
he
guess I got to
told
try
me, Mac,
harder. You know, I ended up getting 15. Yeah.
he said, "Where you from?" Hell, you go to Missouri for? He was not playing though. He was doggone serious, man.
Hey, look.
Shout out to ET, man. Shout out to ET.
Bishop
So
College.
when I wait, side story.
Yeah.
When I got to Kansas City, so 18 is retired. That's ET, right?
Oh
His
wow.
number's retired in Kansas City. So I get up. John Dorsey, right,
Mm-hmm.
basically lied to me, right?
He likes to
He
do that.
lied. He lied to me about like ET saying that I couldn't wear his number, right? Because it was retired. So I get there, right? They just gave me 19, right? Because the 18 is retired. So
Yeah.
literally, like a month goes by, I don't make nothing of it. He's a legend, right? I
Yeah.
respect it. He said, he come
His
here.
name's in the building. Yeah.
Hey, he say, young fella. I said, what's up, man? He goes, why you ain't get 18? I said, man, Dorsey told me, Dorsey my good guy. He said, man, Dorsey full of shit, man. I said, yo.
Keeping it
I
a buck.
said, he lied to me. He said, man, I never told you. I ain't never told Dorsey that. I was like, okay. So,
Yeah.
but ET,
Yeah.
great dude,
Shout out to
man.
ET.
Great dude.
I got some
He
stories
was in
about when I
Atlanta.
was
He
in
was in
KC
Atlanta the
with
year
ET
before I got here.
for another episode. Okay. We all know ET. That's
He
crazy.
drafted
Yeah.
Will Moe. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did draft Will Moe. He did. Oh, but look, so my combine experience was different from y'all's. Though I felt like I was there to show that I belong there. Not necessarily there to say, hey, this is why I should be second, third, fourth round pick. I wanted to be there and say, hey, look, I'm here and I do belong. And I think that is something I did accomplish. So I think for guys coming out now, I don't know how many guys, underclassmen, at least leaving early, you're probably not in no shoes. Like if you're coming out now, you know you belong. You're just trying to improve your draft stock. But to all the kids who are seniors, redshirt seniors, some of these guys are 6-year seniors. I don't know how coaches, the NFL coaches, are looking at you guys at the combine because you are a lot more mature, and I think you all probably do belong there. But I do think there's a little bit of a kind of like a stigma now. Do you think is that wrong because they are so much older, or is it like, hey, football is football? NFL coaches at the combine are just looking at football players. Do you think it's a little bit different now for the older players?
So,
Mm.
so, what? So, is there like particular question you're asking within that?
I'm asking for an older player who's at the combine now. Is he there with a stigma like just
Oh,
some old guy now, or are we
absolutely,
looking for players?
man. It's a young man's game. It's a young man's game. So, like, I think those guys who are staying to 25, 26, right, years old, right, like, I think now, like, okay, great, but I do think that you're cutting down your chance to play longer in the National Football League. I really do.
Mhm.
It's a young man. Y'all know this, man. Every year they're trying to get younger and they're trying to get cheaper. Every year,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
trying to get
Younger
younger,
and
trying to get
cheaper.
cheaper. Right?
That's
I
real.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both.
That's real
But
that you said that. I haven't
trying to
Spoon,
get
you
younger
experienced.
and
agree?
cheaper. So
I haven't. I definitely agree, and I haven't experienced from my combine what they've been doing that, trying to get younger and get cheaper. The youngest guy in my draft was Aaron Hernandez. He also signed with my agency, so we all meet up
mhm.
at St. Elmo's to have dinner with our agents, right? Or lunch. It might be during actual time where you could be meeting with teams,
Yeah.
and they want the young guys to go out there and not take that seriously, so they can take you down and give you less money and still get what they can get out of it. Because once you get there, I mean, it ain't about the money no more. They draft you, they want to get you on that
Get
field,
a
to
young player.
make it
Yeah.
happen. But I literally, we were eating, and Aaron was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh man, I'm getting a call." He literally missed a meeting with the Dolphins, and I'm telling you, dog, this is one of the coldest. God rest his soul, the coldest tight end I ever played against, bro. He was a first round talent that got drafted in the fourth round, bro. Like just ridiculous. Dude told me what juke he was gonna hit me with while we was training, and
Mm-hmm.
they hit me with it in the preseason, dog. It's on the tape. It's crazy, man. But yeah, they literally were they looking for you to weave yourself out, man, so they can, what I'm saying, put themselves in a better position so they can go get some more players.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I also think depending on what position you play, at a certain point you can't help your draft stock. It is what it is. Like
Mm.
Like if you're a receiver and let's say you're 23 years old and you got a fourth round grade, you're not gonna magically, or 24 years old, let's say at 25, it's not gonna magically become a first round receiver. They're not gonna
Nah.
take you in first round. Like you're
No.
you're you're gonna go when you're gonna go. So like, I do think
Mm-hmm.
like Like the longer you stay in college is great. Get paid, capitalize on it, do what you want. Pull the shame, take them to court, get you another. I get all that, but like understand that like you're not helping your draft stock by doing that, and like you're just not. So
Well, Mac, there used to be
yeah,
a
I don't
time.
know.
Yeah.
There used to be a time where
I
you
have
could
one
just
more
run real
question. Oh, go
fast,
ahead,
and
sir.
certain organizations would draft you though too. But now it's not. You don't see that
The
as
Oakland,
much.
Raiders.
Oakland,
Yeah.
Oakland. So
So, one more question. Now at the combine, so when we all went to the combine, it was televised. And when you looked into the stands at in Indy Stadium, you only saw team
yeah,
personnel.
yeah.
Today, you hear cheers, you hear a crowd roar when somebody runs a fast time. I'm like, so now people are able to invite their families. Now, from what I've been told, I don't think they can have contact with families or girlfriends and things like that. But those people are in the building. Those are the cheers you're hearing because they have invited someone to be a part of that process with them.
Yeah,
Let's
I
say
don't
you're
like it.
coming out today. Are you inviting anyone to come out with you? If so, who are you saying, hey, yeah, come out and watch me run my 40-yard dash? 'Cause that's all you can see. You can't see me in the meetings. You can't see those other things behind the scenes, but you can watch me do my field events and the 40-yard dash. Who are you inviting, J-Mac, if you come out today?
It's a job interview, bro. I'm not inviting none of my family. It's a job interview.
Ooh.
Like I'm not. Listen, nope, nobody. Mom, nope. Grandma, nope.
Cutthroat.
Nope.
Hey,
Significant other, wife, nope.
man,
No
you
one.
Nope.
put
Spoon.
Hey,
the
you
women.
know what's crazy?
Go
You know
ahead.
what's
Yeah,
crazy?
yeah.
You know what's crazy? Hold on, real quick, Frank.
Go
You know
ahead, go
what's
ahead.
crazy? Like if my son, like if he was at a point where he understood, like him only.
Oh,
Mama,
yeah.
mama can't be there to hold your hand. Grandma can't be. No, him only.
That's
Like, cool.
crazy.
That's it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Spoon, what about you? Who are you inviting, if or not?
Nobody, nobody. It's televised. First of all, right?
No one.
You got to fly in, money. The NFL ain't giving away no tickets for free. You know, there's gonna be some reimbursements or something. Like they ain't getting it. I don't believe they just complimentary seats. But the main thing is, like Max said, it's a job interview. Though, put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner.
Yeah.
We in that mode. We got to be locked in. We in that mode. Let's go and do what we supposed to do. And I mean,
Yeah.
you should have seen how fast we was running up out of Indianapolis. Like, ooh, I hope I don't get drafted here. Man, I don't even want to
Dude,
come
Yeah,
back
yeah.
here. Like it was cold, cold,
It's
bro.
freezing at that time. Yeah.
dog, I got my bag so fast and was out of there with my agent so fast, dog. I couldn't get away from Indy fast enough.
I don't remember how I left. I remember going back to St. Louis. I don't remember how. I wasn't dying to leave because I was still trying to get some free shoes that y'all probably run through already. Hey, one
I
more
had to
question.
leave
One more
some
question.
stuff. I had to
About
leave
not
some
about
stuff. I
inviting
had so
anyone,
much
but
stuff. Kevin might like these.
hey, listen. I think. Yeah. Let me get some of those, man. Still, I think the guys now can see their times. When you were at the combine, did you know what you ran? Me either. Yeah.
I ran it, went over to my phone, text my agent,
Yes. And you're like, what was that?
and he didn't have and it didn't show because it takes a while for it to get your official. So that's how I did mine.
Yo, for
Spoon, what about
me,
you?
um, back then, Sean Coffey was working for NFL Films. So he was, Mizzou, he wore 12 like me. He was on the field. So I was able to go to Sean.
Yeah.
He got the headset on. I'm like, yo, what I got? What I got? I was able to holler at him. And then also Pete Bomarito trained Denario. So Pete, one of them trainers that's been in the game so long, like Pete stepping over the lines, like he out there getting his guys. He able to work with his guys at the combine. It was way different. Everybody else warming up at like the convention center. Pete down there on the field, he been doing it so long, man. So I was able to communicate with, the higher ups and stuff to kind of figure out what was going on. But it wasn't official. So whatever you knew, it was just kind of what they saw on TV.
Oh man, it was the same for us. I wish they would let you at least know what you've run,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't know. Like for me, I had some injuries coming out, so I was still tweaking things all the way up to that day.
Mm-hmm.
So like my second run, it looked horrible because I was like, I don't know if this is working or not. And it wasn't until I got back to Mizzou where I was like, you know what? scratch all that. I'm about to just run and let the chips fall where they may, which happened to be my best time. But I remember thinking, if I would have known what that type of run I just did produced, I would have gone
Yeah.
back to what I knew. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm sitting here stuck. I remember like hating that feeling and going on my phone trying to. I was texting Denario like, "Hey, you see what I ran?" And just like you, Jay, the word got back too late. I'm already
Yeah.
lining up for my second race. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Also, I think they should let people race at the combine. This is what I feel. If we're gonna put it on TV and make a show out of it, line them up.
If we're there
Race.
Now,
competing,
and
right? Let's
I
compete.
Yeah, line
I
them
feel
up,
Let's
you.
man.
compete.
I
Line them
feel
up.
you there, but at the same time, can you just lock in and go do what you're supposed to do? Because who ain't nobody going home with
Yep.
you when you gotta watch that film, you know. So it's like they want
That's
it's
true.
here. It's all here, bro. But it would be way more fun, you know, to see guys race, but it'd be more of a spectacle than actually what you're gonna get, because hey,
Oh yeah.
you gotta lock in and go do your job. You're an individual contractor.
Gotcha. Any last thoughts about the combine? Things that the people don't necessarily know that goes on there, or any kind of like, y'all think this is the case, but it's not the case. Anything like that you guys have from your experience at the combine, almost 20 years ago for J Mac. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I
Anything happened almost 20 years ago that you think people just don't know, and like shed some light on that? Or Spoon, what you got?
I would just say, if if I'm coming to the combine, I don't want to come visit your facility. I don't want to be flying here. I don't want to be. I want to keep training to get ready for the thing. That was kind of tough. Like you traveling to teams, places in the middle of your training. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing visits and things like that. So like if you're gonna see me there, why I gotta
Mm-hmm.
come to your building? You know, that's just more. It was just more hoopla in the process that kind of got in the way. But you know, if I had to do it all over again, I probably had the same approach. You
It's a
know,
good
go
point.
in there trying to air it out. But if I was the top dog, man, I wouldn't do nothing at the combine, man. Y'all had to send me what y'all did at the combine. I'll be ready for draft night.
Yep.
Oh wow. J Mac, what about you? Anything else about
No, I
that
think
process?
this not just about me, but I think
Mm-hmm.
the process in general. Like for some people that don't understand, they watch you play ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they may invite you to these bowl games. Okay,
Yeah.
this is how much goes into getting picked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the most extreme case, right? Right? Then they'll invite you to these bowl games. Sometimes they'll invite you to the East West. You do well enough, then they'll invite you to the Senior Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
right? Right? Then you'll go to the Combine, okay? Right? Then you'll go back to your own pro day, right?
Yes.
Then after that, right, you'll take team visits to where sometimes they'll work you out,
Yes.
depending on if you're a fringe guy, or they'll come back to you where you are and they'll come work you out where you are.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
people don't understand that like like sometimes that's what goes into deciding if a team's gonna decide to pick you or not.
Yes.
It and sometimes, right, you can do so well where they can ignore what you did on the field and take
Mm-hmm.
everything you've done after that, or you can do so bad to where anything you did on the field doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
And they strictly basing
Yeah.
you off of how the combine, pro day, private workouts. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's a lot that goes into it. It's not just hey, you show up and run a 40 and you run well, they draft
Yeah.
you. If you don't, they
Yeah.
don't. Man, it's a
Yeah.
lot more that goes into it. They interview you, they ask say crazy questions. I was showing some of my kids the other day. Um, Will Lee, a corner that's from Texas A&M, probably gonna go in the first round. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the Packers sent a questionnaire to the high school, right? They come to ask your high school coaches, like what type of kid was he? Was he a dual
Wow.
sport athlete? What kind of grades did he get? Was he in any type of clubs? Did he was he in band? Like they want to know everything, dog. So man,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just like I get it, right? We want to make this million-dollar investment, but like it's a process, man. It's a
It is a
process.
process. It's a crazy process, and I feel like for the guys who are coming out of college now, understand that you are immediately thrown into and baptized into the field of business of football. Like it's no
Hmm.
transitional period. You go from being at least for us, you were a student athlete in this super, controlled environment. To the moment you say I'm going to the NFL, you are now in the business of the NFL as well, and it is treated like such. One of the biggest rumors at the combine for me was, I remember some of the guys I trained with saying, "Hey, look, when you're in the elevators, man, keep your mouth shut." And I was like, "What do you
Yep.
mean?" They were like, They are basically implants on elevators, just listening. They're to listen about how guys are experiencing the combine, or I don't want to go to this team, I want to go to that team. They are just listening. So, fellas, I know you think it's still football, and at the end of the day, when you get on the field and you put your helmet on, you strap them up, all that, that is when it's football. But all the time in between that, guys, at the combine, at your various workouts, it is a business and you must treat it like such. But there's no process that ushers you into that. It's just now you are here. Now you are a
I,
professional.
I will say, Kev, they kids coming in today might be a little more equipped to
Mm,
handle it because of the state of college football currently. You got to think
yeah.
about it. We literally went from, if you didn't go to class, like you had more study hall. Like
Yeah.
if you didn't do this, you had more. Like you know what I mean? Like so,
Hmm.
those days are probably, I would say maybe some places still going on, but like
They're not
there
doing
was a
that.
trend. There was a transfer that transferred from Ohio State to Notre Dame, and he
Okay.
said, "What's the biggest difference?" He said, "I actually now have to go to class."
Mhm. He wrong for
Notre Dame
that.
not playing that. Notre Dame, you're going to be a student athlete still.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
crazy. Wait, why would he put Ohio State on the map? Stop that. Stop
Crazy.
that.
I don't know if he was
Y'all
playing
nuts.
around, but that's what he said.
Come on, man. Well, look, fellas, I had a great time going back down memory lane, talking about your experience at the combine, talking about the decisions to come out of college, man. Next week, we'll dive into something else. All the True Sons fans, please come back to us next week, man. We really enjoy it. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Rutland. I'm here with Jeremy Macklin and Sean Weatherspoon. We are the True Sons. We'll catch you guys next week.